What's up, 49er faithful? It's your boy, Chili Will. Welcome to the 49er Street Squad. Man, let's get into it. This game yesterday was a heartbreaker, man. I'm telling you. I mean, oh, God. I'm sure every 49er fan had to be watching this game wondering one thing. What the hell is going on with our boys? They took a big loss against the Minnesota Vikings yesterday, 17-22. And, oh, so much to get into talk about. I just want to let you guys know, I'm not coming to you live from the studio. This is kind of a pre-recorded show. And I'm actually down here in Mexico right now. I was on a little vacation for the week, Tuesday to Tuesday. I'm actually leaving home today, so I have a little time to kill. I said, man, I got to get online. I got to talk to my 49er faithfuls, man, and just vent. I got to vent and let my emotions out, because I was feeling heartbroken after that game. I mean, I know it was going to be tough. I knew the game was going to be tough, but man, I didn't expect it to go the way it did. It did not. Down here in Mexico right now, I'm actually at Puerto Vallarta. It's, about my second time coming down here at a different resort, though. And got to say, it was a good week. Weather was nice. Today's actually probably the best day because it's a lot cooler, not quite as muggy, and, tends to get rather humid down here, with the heat. But still, all in all, was very nice. Had a real good time, But I was excited, man. I was waiting for this month. I said, Monday Night Football. I said, we got to go out here to the sports lounge. We got to watch this game. I was pumped up. Had my 49er gear on and everything. I was so pumped up. And I was ready for a good game. I thought I was going to get back on track. We'd be walking away with 6 wins and just 1 loss. And now we're at 5-2. 5-2, guys. I can't believe it. But the good thing is, hey, we're still in first place right now. I think we're about, half a game over Seattle. I know they only have 2 losses, but I think they're 4-2 right now. They had a bye week. So, man, guys, let's get into it. Let's talk a little bit about the game. I promise not to take too much of your time today being here. I do have a plane to catch later on, so let's get into it. Let's just talk about some of the things that just happened in this game. In the beginning, it looked like it was going to start out pretty good because Ward, who actually made a good play in the very beginning of the game, did get an interception, was able to take the ball away from, what was the gentleman's name, wide receiver on, wrote it down here so I won't forget, Jordan, I think it was Jordan Addison, wide receiver, was able to manage to struggle and pull away the ball and get a turnover. So I thought, yes, we're in good position to score, and get ready to go on down there. So our boys come out on offense. Brock Purdy getting ready to run the crew, drive down. Chris McCaffrey looks like he's doing well until he gets up. We get up in that red zone area, man. Try to punch that ball. Actually, no, if I remember correctly, because I'm trying to, remember this game off the top of my head. I didn't get a chance to go back and watch any of this game footage. But I do believe that's Chris McCaffrey, if I remember correctly. He ran the ball. I think he went to his left, right? And then apparently he had the ball. I think he caught it, grabbed it or something, and then it came loose. Or when he got tackled, it came out, and he fumbled the ball. Minnesota gets the ball back. So I'm saying, oh, great. Here we go. Here we go. I thought, is this the kind of game our boys are in for? Is this what we're in for tonight? And apparently so. So that here we thought, here I thought we were going to capitalize on a great turnover, and then it just ended up turning the ball over again. It just did not, you could just sense something didn't seem right. You could just sense that, this was going to just be obviously a very rough, difficult game, that the Niners were going to have to fight through. So I just watched. I actually calmed my emotions because at first I was kind of really stirred up, emotional, getting mad. I thought, you know what, chill. You got to chill. It was time to chill and just, have a Mai Tai break or something. I don't know. I had to just calm down. Like I said, this could be one of these just crazy games again, sort of like what we saw with the Browns. And, when you play in Minnesota, I've been there I didn't go to this game, of course, but I've been there in Minnesota game before, and Vikings, they got themselves a good little fan base there, and they know how to cheer and get that team riled up. And what I saw in this game, guys, I felt like I saw the Minnesota Vikings just come out and just play. They just played a good, solid, focused ball game, and apparently we did it. And it was just the little things that made the big difference. The turnovers. Some of the pressure. Purdy, for the most part, I feel he did a, a good job. He did a good job. However, he did have the two turnovers. At the end of the game, we all saw that, we had the ball. I thought for sure he was going to march us downfield and have the chance to finally prove himself that he is the real deal. And he is good. I'm not trying to say he's not, but he is really good. I thought this is his chance to have that, like that Montana great comeback moment. Can he do it? Just like he almost did last week against the Browns, right? Got the team downfield in scoring territory. We missed the kick. We lose. I thought, though, this time he was going to march us downfield. I felt like he could do it. He was going to get that touchdown because that's all we needed was that touchdown to win. And he came up short. He ended up throwing the ball, which looked like it was going to go to Jennings. And Jennings was running like a little kind of post route. Looked like he got blocked along the way, so it threw the timing off. I think Brock Purdy expected him to make that cut over across the field like he did early in the game when he did it from the other side, but he did it from the left side. Jennings tried to get across the field, but he got blocked. The timing was off, and I think Purdy just expected him to be there, and he just winged that sucker on out. And lo and behold, Minnesota got the interception, second interception of the game, and, well, it was game over. Heartbreaking. I was just like, man, come on, Purdy, you can do this, man. You can do it. We believe in you. We know you can get us down here and score and get this comeback. It was just would have been perfect, right? Would have been perfect. He was able to execute that, get downfield. I think clock management was a little bit out of control, but they still had time. And if he just made a couple of big plays, could have happened. Another one of those shoulda, coulda, woulda deals. But yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate to see the loss happen, and especially with Purdy back there, because one thing is that we were all getting all the hype. Hey, 49ers go to Super Bowl, they're number one and everything, and blah blah blah. And now they're gonna have a field day with our boy Brock Purdy. Oh, he's not the guy we think he is. He was doing so great in San Francisco. I still think personally, though, I still think that Brock Purdy is a good quarterback. He's still proved himself. He's still great at getting the ball out. He was seeing a lot of pressure in this game once again from the Vikings. I'm not exactly sure how many times he got pressured or rushed, or blitzed. But it was quite a few times. He did have pressure in him, but he was able to execute and get rid of the ball quickly. So, he wasn't too bad in that position, right? So I'm not going to get too hard on Purdy, today. You got to think he's still young coming into this league, still a little rookie behind the ears a little bit, and even though he's shown such greatness so far since he's been here, these games we're gonna, we knew that he was gonna have some of those kind of games where things just weren't going to go right, and that he was going to have trouble. He was going to run into some tough situations. So now we've seen him twice on the road, back to back. And we've been able to see what, in times in some of these games he's had to actually come from behind to try to win the game, And this is what I personally wanted to see. I wanted to personally see, was Brock Purdy able to be that quarterback that can go out there and come from behind to win you a game? Because that really shows the poise in a lot of your quarterback and how well he can direct your team into a comeback win. And so far, Purdy, first game, like I said, against the Browns, he drove downfield, missed a kick. That wasn't his fault. He could have won that game. Could have beat the Browns. In this game, too, drove downfield, but this time it wasn't on Brock Purdy. He threw the interception. Oh, well, it lived to see another day, right? But let's talk about the defense for a minute, guys. This is what's really troubling me, is the defense. I don't know what's going on with the San Francisco defense, their front line. Still haven't been able to get, I think they got one sack in this game. But you expect with the guys that we have, the guys that we know we have, you would expect to see a lot more sacks coming up. We should have way more sacks than we have now. I know, for example, Post, I know he's getting double teamed a lot. He's probably getting chipped a lot, and I have to say this too. I don't know what's also going on with these refs because just to back up a little bit, well, the Minnesota Vikings were on offense. It did seem like they were getting away with a lot of holding. I mean, I'm seeing like a lot of jerseys being held with that front line and the Niners, and I don't know if it's like these refs have it out for the Niners or what, but we're just not getting holding calls like we should. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of jerseys being grabbed, pulled, grabbed from behind, from the side, and the refs are basically turning a blind eye to it. Man, it's pissing me off. And I think the officiating, it's fair to say the officiating has been pretty bad for a lot of NFL games, especially over the last weekend. So, but okay, let me dial it back to the defense. What is going on with our front line? And most of all, our linebackers. Now, linebackers, obviously, they've had the most tackles. I think Greenlaw and Warner have the most tackles in this game. But it just seems like I'm seeing a lot more missed tackles. And I'm thinking to myself, are these guys just, was it because maybe coming from the Browns game, coming to Minnesota, these guys just still a little too banged up. They don't want to really, get in there and the nitty gritty, make some good tackle plays. I'm seeing like a lot of players swarm to the ball, to the play with the ball, trying to knock it loose. It's like I always see them. It's always like keep them stood up and let me see if I can knock the ball loose. But what I'm seeing is like, their guy, they're running back, got a gentleman's name, but the one guy that they only had, he looked like he was running downhill on us all first half of that game. It was crazy. And a lot of our players ran to make tackles on this guy, and it just seemed like he was breaking 1, 2, 3, sometimes 3 tackles before he was brought down. And so to me, the tackling has become very suspect with this defense. They're not wrapping up good. They're overplaying some of these plays, and I just feel they're making poor judgments on their tackling ability. So I don't know what's going on. I don't understand. I don't know what's going on with this defense. Okay, it is their second game on the road. Obviously, a lot of traveling involved. I have to come back out here. Do you think maybe it could have been wise when after they played the Browns, they should have just stayed out there because, they would have been a little bit more, perhaps on a better, what I want to say, time zone kind of standard and more prepared to go ahead and take on the Vikings, if they'd have stayed for that week. But I think they went all the way back to California and then had to fly back out to Minnesota for the game, And, it kind of puts a little more mental kind of stress on you, I think, without you realizing it. Travel, and trust me, I got to fly back home today in 5 hours, and that's going to be long, But still, you're dealing with different time zones, kind of throws the body off a little bit, I don't know, maybe does that have anything to play into this? Or was it just, hey, do we look at Kyle Shanahan? We point the finger at him and say, hey, man, how come we don't have these guys ready to play? How come we don't have these guys ready to execute, go out there and do what they got to do, not just offensively, but also defensively. Steve Wilkes, defensive coordinator. What is going on with this brother? I mean, Kirk Cousins now, I don't really care for him too much. I mean, I think he's like Jimmy Garoppolo. He's kind of a fair guy. He's going to win you some games. Can't win you the big one when he needs to. I mean, especially like in the playoffs. Kirk Cousins just isn't all that to me, but he is a damn decent quarterback. I mean, the guy, when he's locked in, he's going to perform. He's going to obviously do well. But I thought our defense would have been able to rattle his cage a little more. I thought they would have brought more of the blitzes, a little more heat on them, and they did at times. But I kind of expected to see more. I just expected to see. Maybe more blitzes with the 49ers on Kirk Cousins. I think he got a little too comfortable, but thinking back at the game, I mean, he did get rid of the ball rather quickly, and I think he was kind of ready for that, and they had the plays. And the one guy also that bothered me, guys, is our boy Ward, Moody Ward. This game probably has to be not one of his best games. To see him get so burnt by, I mean, this team didn't even have Jefferson playing. Can you imagine if the Vikings had Jefferson playing this whole day? We probably would have got really smoked. But no, instead he's covering this guy Jordan Addison, who was just making plays after play on this guy. I mean, the Minnesota Vikings here, they had like 378 yards. That is just crazy. When was the last time the 49er defense gave up 378 yards passing? Are you kidding me? That's just awful. So my main concern is what's going on with the San Francisco 49ers defense. I know you guys had to be thinking this too. It's just poor play all around. The secondary, there is changes that need to come with this 49ers secondary. Now, those first 5 games, they looked like they were locked in. They looked like they were, didn't look like anybody would be able to get up on us with these guys. But now it seemed like watching this game last night, you seen too many guys that looked like they were just out of place, giving up a lot of big plays, especially over the middle. Like sometimes it looked like they were playing zone, these guys were just, sometimes they would kind of, when the Vikings had the ball and the receivers would kind of make their slants and kind of set those picks, and pick off some of these cornerbacks as they were crossing the field, and it was getting guys open. It was working for them. And apparently the 49ers, I don't know what was up with our safeties, where they were at, but Vikings did a good job getting their receivers in the open field to make plays. And it just seemed like our defense seemed to be a little overwhelmed and just out of position a lot of those plays. Now, I can't remember how much man-to-man and how much zone they were playing. There was times I saw man-to-man, against the Vikings receivers, but I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, how do you guys feel about the way this defense is playing? I mean, does it have you scratching your head? I mean, does Steve Wilkes have to, I saw an interview earlier today with Nick Bosa. And I've never seen this guy look so speechless and not have an answer for a question. Someone answered, obviously about how the defensive played, how they played and executed and stuff. And Bosa sat there looking confused. He looked like, he just didn't know what was going on. And he kind of made a little comment about, the defense being a little different in the way they play. I think Niners are usually like a 4-3, you're right. And I don't know. I didn't catch like what little bit I did catch what he was saying, but it just seemed like he looked really puzzled. He looked very confused. He looked like he just didn't have really the answer. Like he just didn't know what was happening. So that leads me to believe that either Steve Wilkes is not getting these guys prepared well for these games, or if he's trying to maybe, put his own type of gameplay on this defense, and maybe they're not getting it in the style where he wants them to play. I don't know. It just makes me feel that for some reason right now, I don't know if other teams are just, hey, are they just figuring this defense out? And they figured out our weakness, I don't think the Niners gave up over 100 yards in rushing in this game. A rushing attack, you could tell there were adjustments made. They did put a stop to the rushing, And then you talk about a team, I think, that was like ranked, like, I don't know, 20-something in offense. I mean, gosh. But yet they looked like they were just, they were playing like they were, number 5 offense, because the Niners just didn't seem to have any answers. I mean, in the third downs, how many times do we get burnt on third down efficiency? I think Minnesota Vikings were like 8 for 13 conversions on third down. Why is it we get these teams in third down situations, but yet we always get burnt on third downs? Be 3rd and 10, 3rd and 15. Cousins being able to execute, get that ball in somebody's hands open. I'm telling you, pass protection is just getting awful with the secondary. I can't. There was one play. I know you guys remember this, but Kirk Cousins had the ball, hiked the ball. 49ers front line, I swear, they looked like they swarmed around Kirk Cousins, and I thought for sure this dude was sacked. I mean, literally, it looked like the guy surrounded him, got him cornered back there, and he just somehow was able to still throw and complete the ball. It was like all he got surrounded, and it was almost like they all got him, there in the center, but no one really got a hand on him. He kind of got bumped around a little bit, but then he kind of stepped up a little and threw the ball and still made a play. I couldn't believe it. I thought for sure he was down. I thought they had his number. He was sacked. But apparently not. Still got to pass off, and Kirk Cousins, I think that might have been actually when he scored the next touchdown in that game. So that's when I started questioning myself. I said, wow, there's something going on with this Niners defense right now. I can't, comprehend it. I don't know what's happening. Another guy that the defense had trouble with was tight end T.J. Hawkinson. I hope I'm saying his name right. They had no answer for Hawkinson and Addison. 2 guys on that team. The San Francisco 49ers defense could not stop these guys from making big plays, especially on third downs. But Faithful, I got to tell you, I wonder how you feel. I mean, I hope you guys get a chance, hit up in comments, just to say, how you feeling about the team right now and where they're at, and do we have to be really concerned now? Like, is there something, just happening with this team that just, I think, first of all, we got to, looking at it, we got to kind of, I got to hold Kyle Shanahan accountable because he's the head coach. I know guys were coming into this game a little banged up. CMC had a abdominal tear I'm sorry, not abdominal, but the, on the side. We got hurt last week, So he was a little banged up, We didn't have Debo. And of course we were without our big guy, left tackle, Trent Williams. And you can see we really, missed Trent on that offensive line. Christian McCaffrey probably would have had a little more, better rushing yards than he did in this game if Trent Williams was to play. But, yes, I was hoping to be coming home really happy with the 49er victory, 6-1. And now we're 5-2, guys. Still in first place, so we got to, put everything in perspective. We're still in first place, 5-2. We're still up there, and this is a long season. We got a long season to go. Schedule is not going to get any easier. We got some teams that are going to be tough coming up. As a matter of fact, we have to ask ourselves, if they struggled against the Browns and now Minnesota Vikings, now coming off a Monday night loss, turn around real quick to get ready for the Bengals. You got to ask yourself, are the Niners even going to have the energy or the mental stability to get on that field and just play their, what off? Because Bengals been getting good. They started out rough. I think lost the first couple of games or so, but man, come Sunday, I'm sure they're going to come in noticing a wounded 49er team. I like to think that the Niners, there's no way the Niners would have 3 straight losses. So I'm expecting a big comeback win come Sunday. I will be there. And I hope the Niners will have enough energy to be able to, come to this game and be able to deal with the Bengals, because Joe Burrows is looking good. The team's starting to come around, and it's going to be tough, Faithful. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be a tough game, I think, for our boys. And plus, I think another thing, looking back at this Minnesota game, they did come off a bye week, I do believe. The week before that, they had the Browns, who also came off of a bye week. So they had plenty of time to prepare for the 49ers. They did their homework. As far as the Bengals, I'm not even sure if they're coming out. I can't remember if they're coming off a bye week or not, but if they are, ooh, oh boy. Oh boy. 49ers better have their shoes tied, laced up, pads on tight, because I know it's gonna take a lot of energy, and I can only imagine that these guys have to be feeling a little burnt out, maybe from these 2 road games, coming up with the losses, because our defense, they play hard, man. You see in their tackles and the way they hit people. They know how to bring the wood when they want to, and they're gonna make sure any opponent they play that they let them know that you just finished playing with the San Francisco 49ers, because we just gave it a black eye. The last 2 games, seems like we're the ones getting the black eye. You know what I mean? But Faithful, keep the faith. I kind of predicted, honestly, looking at the schedule, it was looking like they were going to be unbeatable for a minute. But now reality's kind of set in. I kind of predicted at first, I can see about 3 or 4 good losses this season, maybe even 5. But we got some tough teams. Bengals coming up. We got the Baltimore Ravens coming up. Of course, Philadelphia, they're looking like studs right now. Especially defensively. I mean, these guys, man, are just looking, ooh-wee, it's going to be something else. Who else we have? We got Ravens, except Ravens. We still got to play Seattle. I mean, these guys, I know most of us will always say, oh, yeah, we got their number. We probably do, but, Seattle, can't take Seattle lightly. Another divisional opponent, divisional team's always kind of tough to play, And it's a long season. Teams are going to get better as the season goes along, I know we're going to get better as the season goes along. I think so. Matter of fact, I think the Niners play some of their best football, after their bye week. Seems like the last 8-9 games, it seems to start clicking. So I hope that is the same situation after a bye week, this season. But there's a lot of things that just need to be worked out with the San Francisco 49ers, offensively and defensively. It was, I know another thing I wanted to talk about with Moody. How do you guys feel about that? Near the end of the half when Vikings scored on us, Moody almost had an interception. Don't you feel that he could have just whacked that thing down and just instead of trying to go for the interception? I mean, of course, anybody's instincts is going to be like, yeah, if I can get this INT, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to get it. But maybe if he'd have just knocked it down, at least we would have went in there, with a chance of, with not so much of a big lead, Minnesota having a big lead on us. But it was just one of those weird, crazy games, guys. It was just one of those weird, crazy games. We looked out of sync. We didn't look perfect. It was tough. But I know our boys will bounce back. We have a real great team. But it's just a matter of getting the boys just have to get back in alignment, get back that focus, and just get out there and start performing again. And I think coming this Sunday with the 49er faithful having their backs, coming to our own home, they're going to feel the encouragement from the fans, and they're going to be pumped up, and they're going to come out and do their thing. And we're going to get this W. We've got to get this W. So the Mission Impossible 6, man, continues, guys. Mission Impossible 6. And I said no excuses. One thing I said this year, no excuses. I don't care who's hurt, whatever. We got to find a way to get it done. Because I always say it's not how you start, it's how you finish. We're lucky had a real great start so far this year. But we got to keep it going. 49ers got to keep it going strong. Just got to get the refocus back and just prepare and get ready for these guys a lot better. So if you're tuning in, I really appreciate you guys watching. I'm sorry I don't have the guys with me because, everybody's just, I'm on this vacation. Everybody's kind of busy and stuff. But we will be back next Tuesday with the crew. We'll have Nina Rio with us, Nina Antonio, who knows what other guests. And we're going to talk more Nina football after our win on Sunday. Right, guys? I'm going to throw out my little prediction score, which I always like to do at the end of the show. I want to say, I don't even know what the point spread is, but let me see. I don't know who's going to be back. We won't have Debo still, so I don't expect the Niners to be reaching any 30. That's for sure. So with the struggles, I'm just going to say this time, I'm going to play with like 20. Let's say like 23 Niners, Cincinnati Bengals 21. It's going to be close, 23-21. And the Niners will hopefully get this 6W before the bye week, which will be much needed for a lot of these players. Hopefully they can regroup, get their minds right, get ready for the second half of the season, the long stretch, and start making our ways to the playoff. So, yeah, 23, what did I say, 23-20? It's going to be a close one, guys. It's going to be close. Hopefully Trent Williams can come back. I know Debo will be out. I'm sorry, I'm just thinking about this in my head. I'm sitting here in this beautiful spot here on the patio. I'll give you guys a shot so you can kind of just see where chilling at. This is the background. Right over behind my head is the the pool. And straight ahead is the beach out there. And it's a real gorgeous, beautiful day today. Real gorgeous. Would have been more gorgeous if our Niners would have won. You know what I'm saying? Jeez. Tough one. But it's really beautiful out here. Hate to leave, but time to go home, take care of business. Got a lot of other things going on, actually, when I get back. But I look forward to seeing you guys next Tuesday for next Tuesday's show. Faithful, just hang in there. I know you're upset. I know you're mad and probably want to kick cans till you're blue in the face. But our boys will be back. And Mission Impossible 6 will be back on its way. It's going to happen, guys. It has to happen. Okay? So this is your boy, Chili Will. I'm signing out. Again, thank you if you're watching on YouTube. I appreciate you. If you've been tuning in on the 49ers Street Squad podcast, which is available on pretty much all formats, I appreciate you supporting the channel. I appreciate you supporting me and just taking the time to talk 49er football. It's always great. So we'll see you guys next Tuesday. You guys have a wonderful, blessed week. And let's get ready for Sunday, man. Bengals are coming to town. Let's get those suckers. All right. Boy, Chili Will, out of here. 49 Faithful, stay up.